Hello, good evening, Ghana. Welcome to another edition of Competitive Institutions in Ghana on GNTV. I'm your regular host, Godwin Odoga. Today is a special day for our farmers. Ghana has set aside every Friday to celebrate farmers, and so it is important that we give today to farmers. And today we are looking at importance of Farmers' Day celebration to Ghana. But let's take it. On every first Friday of December, government celebrates and award farmers from the national, regional through to the district level. The question, however, is how is this celebration helping to improve farming in Ghana? These and many other questions we are coming to answer with my guests. Once again, this is an interactive talk show and you are supposed to be part of it. Farmers, non-farmers, businessmen, agro-processors. This is an interactive talk show and you are supposed to be part of it. Now, to be part of it, you need to join us via WhatsApp 050-1432-820. You can also just join us live on Facebook, join us on Twitter. Just download the FB mobile and then from your Google Play Store and you can join us. Now, we'll take a short break. When we return, I'll introduce my guest. Don't go away. Don't do.
This December, get ready to receive your breakthrough as Ladies of Substance.
This is your one and only Mr. Smooth of the Adults Class fame, and then we are bringing you a very special edition of the Adults Class. This one we are calling the Adults Class Censored. All we are doing is looking for 50 wonderful couples who want to learn, who have the need to learn how to keep their marriage going. Have you wondered why your relationship is not doing that well? Have you wondered why you're not having as many orgasms as a woman? Have you wondered why, as a man, you come so quick? We are going to teach you how a man can prolong ejaculations, how a man can prolong sex without having ejaculations, how a woman can have multiple orgasms, how a man can have multiple orgasms, and even more. It is going to be an exclusive class, and if you want to be a part of the 50 special couple, just pick the contact under and then contact the producer of the show, and then you'll be a part of that class. It's going to be exclusive, it's not going to be on TV, and it's going to be exposing all the hidden secrets to make your marriage a wonderful one. Wherever you are, whatever you do, love making is good. Keep doing it. It is the Adults Class that teaches you how you can do it well.
Did Liz get a new top?
No, you've seen that before. Never with that skirt.
Should probably stop staring before it gets creepy, though. Too late. You guys are losers.
I'm an Avenger. Are there like trials or an interview?
Just don't do anything I would do. And definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate.
Oh.
All right?
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you. All right, kid. Good luck out there.
Listen, I know school sucks.
Peter, you still with us? Yeah.
I know you want to save the world. But you're not ready yet.
You're the Spider-Man.
No, I'm not. This is just a costume. This is
From the ceiling!
Stay close to the ground. And stay out of trouble. Forget the flying monster guy. There are people who handle this sort of thing.
I'm sick of him treating me like a kid all the time.
But you are a kid.
This is my chance to prove myself.
Peter, what is going on with you?
I'm really sorry. I'm so busy. I'm slammed.
Don't mess with me, because I will kill you and everybody you love.
this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun, and so this.
Viewers, if you just joined us, you're on GNTV on the show Competitive Institutions in Ghana. Today we are looking at importance of Farmers' Day celebration to Ghana. And for me to do the discussion, to my immediate right is Mr. Ebenezer Asare Asuman. Mr. Asuman is the Greater Accra Chapter Coordinator for Chartered Institute of Leadership and Governance, Ghana. Next to Mr. Asuman is Dr. Asare Bediako Adams, Director of Africa Operations. He's also in charge of, he's also a Chartered Institute of Leadership and Governance. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Farmers' Day celebration has to do with a lot of leadership and governance at the local level. So it's important that we have you on this show to share your views on Farmers' Day celebration. But to start with, generally, what are your impressions about the 2018 Farmers' Day celebration? Let me start with Dr. Adams.
Okay, let me also begin by way, saying hi to our viewers in the house, for even making time to listen to us on this program at this time. And you start with your preamble. You said that it has to do with leadership and governance when it comes to Farmers' Day. In fact, it's not only Farmers' Day.
Okay.
Almost everything that will help our economy to grow as a people still has its benchmark on leadership and governance. We need good leaders, we need good people who are in governance to make sure that they steer the affairs of this economy well, which includes the agricultural sector as well. And it's not only with the local level or maybe the local government level, but in fact it's a national thing where even the central government should take it very serious, because agriculture, we do say, is the backbone of our economy. And from since time immemorial, if you hear of cocoa, you hear of rubber and the rest. And look at now, even the Galamsey people, we've even gotten them out of sight. Yeah. Although we still hear that there are other people who are still doing it. So you see, basically, what would bring us money, what could push our economy to the next level, it still has to do with what agriculture. And I'm so happy about this year's theme was agriculture, moving Ghana beyond aid.
Moving Ghana
beyond aid.
So where are your impressions?
So meaning we are going to move Ghana beyond aid with the agricultural sector. In fact, the government came out giving so many promises to cocoa farmers in general. Even they are going to push about 24 scholarships at the university level for the wards of farmers and the others. Well, fine, it's okay. This today being the 7th has also been another opportunity for us to also celebrate our farmers in our own way. So generally, I'll say it's good, and we should keep doing it, and also encourage more of our youth to go into farming. And we should forget this the impression which we normally give to people that those who are in quotes are not that educated. They are the ones that goes into farming. Now we've gotten to a time that even medical doctors are stopping their profession and they are going into farming. There are bankers are stopping their profession and they are going into farming.
And you extend your leadership into farming leadership.
Yes, no. In fact, to be a great farmer, you need to be a great leader.
Right. Yeah. Ebenezer, what are your impressions about 2008 Farmers' Day celebration?
Well, I think the theme is good. It's good in the sense that it is following up on what was done last year. Let me quickly add that the first kind of employment, the first kind of job in mankind's life was farming. I mean, God said, and a man would till the land. Those who are familiar with the Holy Book, the Bible. So farming, it's non-negotiable. It's something that has been there since time immemorial. So I believe that if we set aside a particular day to celebrate farmers, those that help us get food, those that go into the interior. So you sit in the comfort of your home in the air condition and you wait for food to eat. Somebody would have to go and sweat and get you that food. So setting aside a particular day for that celebration for me is great. Now the crucial thing is, when God gave man the chance to till the land, God had to guide man as to how to go about it. So that is leadership. So you realize that there is no way you can detach this celebration from leadership. It is very crucial. Wow. Leadership is influence. Yes. And once there's a great leader, somebody that leads others, be it at the local level, at the district level, at the national level, or the regional level, yes, you know that the person can, the person is able to influence other people, then you can follow suit. So for me, it's good. It's a good thing, and I think that it should continue. Yeah.
Right. Now, viewers, you can join us live on Facebook. You can also join us via WhatsApp 050 32820. I will announce the phone lines for you to join and then contribute as you go along. Now, we have different categories of farmers. We have peasant farmers, we have small scale farmers, we have large scale farmers, and then we can also talk about animal rearing. Now, over the years, what has been government target over the years in relation to peasant farmers, small scale farmers, or even large scale farmers in this celebration?
Well, basically what I have seen, my observation over the years is when we talk about this celebration, we normally look out for the entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs who are basically in that sector. You mean
farming?
I'm coming there. It's not every farmer that you can call an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Well, but this time governments are looking at the entrepreneurs who are into farming.
Okay.
Because we have entrepreneurs who are in banking, but they are not bankers.
Yes.
So the same way we have entrepreneurs who are in agriculture, but they themselves, they are not farmers.
Okay.
And funny enough, you see them being awarded Farmers Day, Best Farmer, and the rest. People who contribute their money to the poor farmer, or to any farmer.
Invest into farming.
Yeah, the person invests into farming.
Yes.
At the end of the day, go out to tell people, this is my farm, and since he pushed the money into it, he's been awarded the best farmer or whoever, the award goes to such a person.
You have a very good remarks about the theme and then the target. What do you think is a target? Is it peasant farmers, small scale farmers, or large scale farmers? Be it an entrepreneur or whatever. What do you think is government target in this case?
I think there should be a classification when it comes to who qualifies to be given this kind of award, or who qualify to be called a farmer in relation to this kind of awards.
Yes.
As I said, people are contributing their money, they are investing into farming, but they are not doing it themselves. There are other people who are just working like laborers, and the other there are farm hands and the rest. And we've heard most of these peasant farmers, their groups and the rest coming up to say that in fact they work hard on their farms and the rest cultivate the land by themselves and the rest, and at the end of the day they are not being awarded for the kind of hard work, but the entrepreneurs are the ones who are being awarded for who have been given the award for Farmers Days celebration.
Yes.
And now government is talking about planting for food and jobs and the others, and most of these young guys we are pushing into planting for food and jobs are guys who don't have money, they don't really have the initial capital to work to till the land or to even work on these farms.
Sure.
But they are poised, they are encouraged to just go into farming because they've seen others who
So
are doing it,
planting-
and I'm coming. Who are doing it, and they are successful in it. So mostly, such people should also go to be resourced. If you want to now, because of now the way they classified the one who is being given the best farmer and or whoever, they are the ones with the money, they are the ones with the cash, to pump machinery.
So much into
they are pumping machinery. They are cultivating huge hectares of land. They are doing the rearing of animals in large quantity and the rest. So government should find a way of pushing money into helping some of these peasant farmers, who've been in this kind of business for such a long time, but still they've not even gotten any investment when it comes to that. Now you go to the banks and in fact they are not ready to look at even the farmer.
Now, if you look at the history of this Farmers Day celebration, it started way back, I think in the 80s. I stand to be corrected. Now, peasant farmers constitute the largest population when it comes to farming because they are more or less like subsistence farmers. They grow to feed themselves, and if they have surplus, they sell. Recently, government has introduced a lot of flagship programs like Food for Planting and Jobs. Planting for food and jobs,
yes.
And then rearing for food and job as well. And then you talk about those entrepreneurs who invest into farming. Don't you think it's getting to a point where, looking at how government want to encourage people to go into farming, you should be going to redesign the award category to the extent that the peasant farmers who are form the majority when it comes to the labor force, and then these youth who are being encouraged to go into planting for food and job, rearing for food and job, so that there will be a category to take care of them, so that they will also feel recognized and their effort could, in a way, be measured. Be thinking about it now. Let's come back to Ebenezer.
Okay.
What do you have to say? Looking at the question,
exactly. I think that on the surface, it looks like you are made to believe, successive government, you are made to believe that their target is for peasant and small scale farmers so that they can grow and blossom and become bigger. But behind closed doors, people that probably may indirectly not have anything to do with farming are the ones that are recognized.
What do you mean by that? Because if absolutely. I put my money into farming and I've engaged people and they're working,
I mean, when you
my farm size has increased and I've been awarded, why do you say I don't have anything to do with farming?
I mean, when you put all together statistically, it's just about 34% that are into agriculture in Ghana. And
34%?
Yes, just about that. I checked it when I was coming. It's amazing, isn't it?
Entrepreneurs, or
we are
talking
about
the labor
farmers,
force,
the labor force. When we talk about the realities, those that are doing it, you can check. It's amazing. And this number of people we are talking about, just as director said, the focus. You see, if I am with somebody who does peasant farming or somebody who works on smaller scale, I believe that if I encourage the person by giving the person all that the person requires or needs, I award the person, I give the person implements, I give the person money, things that they need, I expect them to expand.
Now, let me hold you. There's a statistics you putting out there that we need to look at it carefully. Is it that you think that there's record that shows that about 34% of people who are into farming are documented?
Okay, so
or in general,
yeah. I just had a glimpse on my jawline when I was coming, and I checked the 34%.
Except you would want to dispute statistics.
I don't want clarity.
Except you want to dispute statistics.
All along we've been told that between 60 to 70% of the Ghanaian labor force are involved in farming. Because if you go to rural areas, basically they are farmers, and these are people who are not registered, who are not documented, but they are farmers. They are subsistence farming. So if the research is talking about people who are into farming as a business, and for that matter they are registered farming businesses, and we're talking about that, then fine. But otherwise, in fact, it's debatable to say that only 34% of Ghanaians are actually into farming. We know there are huge number of peasant farmers, there are huge number of people who just go into subsistence farming, go to the rural areas. What is the main source of living? It's just farming. So it is strange. Now the question is,
how do you use to classify those that you think are many are in the villages and they are doing farming? So let me just quickly quote this.
Right. Let's interrogate this
further.
The
celebration is themed agriculture.
Yes.
Moving Ghana beyond aid.
Right.
The theme reflects the premium placed on agriculture by the administration and the critical role of the sector, and that's the sector plays in Ghana's ability to meet our beyond aid goal. Now listen to this paragraph. It said, though 34% of the employed population is engaged in agriculture.
Employed.
Yes. Population is engaged in agriculture.
Yes.
Agri outputs and its rewards to farmers have been dwindling in recent years.
Yes. So how do you explain that thing to an ordinary man who is into farming, and you may believe that this 34% is debatable? Because if you go to a rural community, about 90% of the people are engaged in farming.
Just like saying 70% of Ghanaians are Christians. It's debatable, isn't it?
Yes. But even here is the case. We are talking about statistics.
Yes.
So unless we get a different statistics just to dispute what we already have, we'll just have to just believe in this and just move on with it.
Now, Weben, in your view, this Farmers' Day celebration, we know it's evolving, the category of award and how the criteria is assessed. It's changing over the years. Today's one, What do you think is the target? Looking at the theme, because we have peasant farmers or small scale farmers, large scale farmers. Putting aside or taking into consideration your research data that says that 34% of
the employed
are engaged. What do you think is the target of government in relation to this Farmers' Day celebration?
I think that I mean, ideally, government is looking at helping agriculture. Government is looking at helping farmers.
Yes.
You know, because when you read further, it talks about the fact that government wants to push more into agriculture. And like I did say earlier on, I have personally observed over the years successive government, and I don't want to narrow down only on this. I have seen that all the years during Farmers' Day, that is what you hear. Every theme for Farmers' Day has had something to do with government want to push something into agriculture.
Yes.
Government wants to push something into agriculture and make it bigger. Yes. But you and I can tell what has been the impact. That's why I said that on the surface, we are made to believe that, but behind closed doors, it's a different case altogether.
What is behind the closed doors?
What is behind closed doors is that whatever government would want to push in, we don't feel it, we don't see it. It doesn't happen in successive government. It's been going on.
So from what you have observed behind closed doors, is it targeting peasant farmers, small scale farmers, or commercial or large scale farmers?
The target ideally is small scale farmers that will improve to become larger scale, because we are talking of commercializing agriculture. We are talking of agric moving from the primitive type and becoming something of, I mean, we want to use sophisticated things to do it.
You want to modernize
agriculture. So I believe ideally the target surely will be small scale farmers, because many of the farmers are on small scale or they are peasant. So the targets are on them, but the belief and the hope is that they will blossom and become bigger. And that's what I'm saying that we have not seen over the years, because over the years we have heard that they are pushing things inside, they are helping, they are boosting, they are pushing more money.
But there's fertilizer subsidy.
Yes, there have been fertilizer subsidy
to peasant farmers.
Yes.
Yes. I will give you that.
No. But you don't even have to. You don't have to bring in fertilizers.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have to even bring
at the end of the day, is the effect. What is the effect?
That is it.
Do you feel it? Have you seen it? Have you experienced it?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So you can put in all this. If we don't see any effect and we are still at the same place. I mean, the statement said it's been dwindling over the years. Look at it. Dwindling over the years. The output of agri and its rewards to farmers has been dwindling over the years.
Dr. Adams, from your earlier submission, what do you think is the target? Because
yes. And even from what Eben was talking about, you even brought in the issue of fertilizer. Yes. You don't have to even go in there, because we're here when we saw fertilizers that are expired. Because government was selling those fertilizers.
It was reported.
Yes. And we saw. And we saw those fertilizers because government, they were selling those fertilizers to the poor farmer. The farmer was, the farmer wasn't having the money to even go into that. So, I think we would have to just put that one aside. And even when we talk about its inputs, today when I was coming, I also chanced upon a writer from GAWU, the Ghana Agricultural Workers Union of TUC, and they are saying that even the issue of planting for food and jobs, the value is the same. They've not seen any improvement. It has always been the case. There hasn't been anything like maybe because of this planting of food and jobs, there has been an increase in maybe.
But there was recent report that there was abundant food.
Farmers are speaking. These are from the farmers themselves and not from a politician. They are not politicians. They are not politicians. They are farmers themselves. So we should be listening to the farmers and not the politician.
Absolutely.
Right. So they are saying that it has not added anything to the output of the food and all those things. And this is a wake up call for the government, for the government to look into the issue of planting for food and jobs again, because the farmers are saying it is not meeting up to their expectation. And ever since that planting for food and jobs, the program was implemented, the value has been the same. Nothing new.
Now, if planting for food and job is aimed at peasant farmers who basically grow to feed themselves, and if there is surplus to sell, then we should not be expecting large-scale farms to crop out from this initiative, because the purpose is to create opportunity for people to feed themselves.
Why can't we put these farmers into farming groups. Why can't we mechanize the recently we are doing one village, one dam. They are doing one district, one warehouse. Yes. What are we expecting to use the warehouse and the dams for?
It's to provide storage for these peasant farmers to store the essence.
No, if you classify them as peasant farmers, they are supposed to produce to feed themselves and their what?
But if they surplus, they store and sell.
No, so will you need a warehouse for to store the destiny of a peasant farmer?
Of course, you need to keep before you sell.
You see, you should rather make sure what they are producing is marketable. You put them into farming groups, you mechanize the activities, and you make sure that there is a ready market for them before they even harvest their products. And this is another funny another scenario I've seen about the farmers. Do you know one thing? They would wait, even if it's about 10 acres of land, they would just plant all the land at the same time. So meaning they are going to do all the harvesting at the same time. And when you do the harvest at the same time, it's likely you not be able to sell all your products. So you'll be forced to sell it at the because it's not cheap.
But that is debatable, because if they are growing the crops to feed a particular agro processing plant, they need a certain quantity of the product, and if it is not in large volume, then there is no optimal production.
Should not have, the farmers, their products should not go waste. Then the products they're supposed to be high prices, because now demand should be high. But let me tell you this now, even now supply exceeds demand. When it comes to
supply of foodstuff exceeds demand.
Yes,
and that is the success of the food planting for food and job.
That is not the success of the planting for food and job, because it has always been the case.
Really?
It has always been the case.
When we have been importing foodstuff,
this is because
rice in particular.
This is because the roads that leads to the farming communities are bad. So the person who produced that tomato or whatever product they are producing, produce for all the village, the people around the nearby communities.
But they all grow the same crops, so they can't sell to each other.
They can't even sell to each other. So what I'm saying is, government should rather see a way of putting these people in fact, they even have the farming groups.
Yes,
they even have the farming groups. They at times even going for this. They are going for the group loans and the rest. And at times it even becomes a challenge for them to even get the loan and the rest. What's the planting for food?
Farming is risky, so which bank should give loan to a farmer who would depend on rainfall?
Let me even finish on my earlier submission I was making.
Yes.
So what the farmer needs to do now is, you should look at your current situation and know that, okay, fine, I don't have good roads, I don't have this and that. Why can't I plant my crops in such a way that I can produce my product can be ready in all seasons? So at least,
are you expecting the president or a small scale farmer to undertake this?
Now why can't the small scale?
Look at the land size. It's capital intensive.
Yes.
So how do you expect a poor farmer in a village to be taking this big?
Let me tell you, there are lands there.
And you think that the lands are litigation free?
There are lands there, and people are even cultivating these lands in the villages. What I'm saying is, if you think that you produce about 10 acres of land, and yet because there are no warehouses, there are poor roads, and a whole lot of stuff, your produce go waste. Reduce it. Go like maybe a 2 acre or a 4 acre. Cultivate that land for this season. Once you're about to harvest, or wait for some time, a month or two, cultivate, plant another one, so that when it comes the season where you are going to harvest,
depending on rainfall.
Wait, no. Why do we have to now look at the rainfall pattern?
It's getting interesting. You have to
now look at the rainfall pattern now. You should be looking at irrigation.
Just allow the WhatsApp line so that viewers, farmers in particular, can join. You can join us 050-1432-820, 050-1432-820. Send your comment, your questions, your contribution. In fact, this is the day for the farmers. So we want to hear from you farmers, whether you're a peasant farmer, a small-scale farmer, or an investor. Now, let's come back. Farmers' Day celebration has been going for, should I say, more than 2 decades. Now, has Farmers' Day celebration contributed to improving the income status of farmers generally? Ebenezer?
I would say no.
Why?
I would say no. I mean, if you heard me speak, all the things I've been saying, I keep on saying that there's a difference between making a statement and then practicalizing it, letting the people feel it and say that this is it. This has been done. I was having a discussion with a friend not long ago when we saw some statistics from the US, the fact that they have added a certain number of jobs, about 200,000 jobs or 400,000 jobs, and these are
you mean 400,000 jobs from farming?
I'm not talking about farming. I mean a general discussion. I'm just trying to feed into this.
Okay.
And you feel the statistics. I mean, this is authentic. You come here when you hear statistics, the politician says A. When you go to the real person on the ground, he says C.
Yes.
When you speak with the media people, they will say D.
Yeah. Because probably the politician has the data.
Absolutely wrong. I mean, of course. I mean that is why
it may be debatable. You may not say wrong, debatable, but it's debatable.
The politicians should not have that data.
Why? Because it is their duty to collect and present.
Absolutely no. They should collect from the right source, and the right source are independent people who come up with authenticity.
Statistical services there, and they present this data to government, and government rely on this for decision making.
So I'm saying that personally, I do not think that it has done anything to the income of farmers because I do not see it. I have not felt it. I am from a farming area.
Are you a farmer yourself?
Yes, because I was born into farming. We're going to farming. I mean, you could walk from here to Kaneshie, where our farm was, back in the eastern region. So I have done farming for years, and I know what I'm talking about. If you really want to speak with farmers, for farmers to tell you exactly what they feel, what they see, the impact, you'll be amazed. And you'll be asking yourself, so for the past 2 decades, what have successful governments been telling us?
But you see, what you are saying is strange. Hold on. We have district, they nominate best farmers.
Yes.
And they award them at the district level.
Correct.
And they give a lot of maybe input. They identify and they award at the regional level. They identify and award at the national level.
You've seen them, you've felt them, you've experienced those
they announced the packages and they are presented.
They give them car license. You can't call that one.
I mean at the district level. But when people are given cars, houses and stuff, do you still maintain that? No, this Farmers' Day celebration has not helped to improve farmers. Because now it has given them the voice to even express concerns, to get a chance to even meet government and put their concerns.
Correct.
Is it not a way of creating a platform for these farmers to meet government, to address their concerns?
We have been saying
why do you say that it has not helped in improving the income status of farmers?
I think this is something very popular that we say. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
Yes, so there is a step.
We have not taken the step. So we have a long way to go to 1,000 miles. That's what I believe.
You have been engaged in farming for some time.
Absolutely.
Now.
So from what I see, I see this as a tortoise or a snail that is crawling into Noah's Ark.
Hey,
that can take you 100
Noah's
years.
Ark on the water.
Absolutely. Because, we keep on saying that it is just like talking about development. And everybody says, Ghana has developed in the last 10 years, 20 years. But when I go to Koforidua or Akwitia, I don't see that. Everything is in Accra. We are saying that the income, where does the food come from? The food is not produced in the soil in Accra. It is that village close to my hometown. That's where the food is produced. Where the road, you never even want to see it. It is waterlogged. No car can come. I mean, it's unmotorable. Let me put it that way. Yes. So, if you are talking about this, where people produce tomatoes and the tomatoes get rotten, the thing doesn't even come to the market. How does a person get the income? The income that farmers are supposed to get should increase the standard of living.
With what you are saying, Eben, with what you are saying,
the standard of living of farmers is still the same.
The statistics that have been
for the past 2 decades.
Eben, hold on. The statistics that have been presented during the recitation and award of these district regional best farmers, do you doubt? Because they tell you they've done so much. If it is not yielding the result, why should there be a record to show that this person has started and has improved yield over a period to the standard the person qualified for an award?
From the beginning that awards, many of the awards are given to entrepreneurs, not the farmers.
And that is it.
So you are asking about
are you differentiating between a farm laborer and a farmer?
That's why we are saying that the entrepreneur does not necessarily mean he's a farmer.
That is it.
Absolutely.
Why do you say so? Why do you say so?
You cannot say that all the entrepreneurs in farming are farmers that deal with the farming work on the ground.
But if I have my money and I've engaged people to work on my farm, Am I not a farmer?
You are a farmer.
So why do you say that I am not?
But you are asking about the income in the pocket of that farmer that till the
If I'm
farm,
paying the
not
farmer and the
entrepreneur.
farmer is earning income from my business, is it not improvement in the person's
That is why it is
life?
difficult to do, because if the guy employs 50 farmers,
Yes.
and it is only the guy whose income is okay, how about the 50?
The farmers
How
are
the
working and they are
statistics
being paid.
You see, they are being paid how much?
Well, that is a negotiation between them and the farmer.
So that's what I'm saying. That
Now let's come.
their standard of living has not
Dr.
improved.
Adams. Dr. Adams.
I still go back to Akwetia and I see people.
Let's hold your ground. Business is getting interesting. Dr. Adams, do you think that over the years, this celebration of Farmers' Day, let's for the past 10 years, is it improving the income status of farmers? Now, I want us to break it down so that we will get it well. Because for entrepreneurs who are into farming, they will say, yes, it's working. But let's take the peasant farmer. Let's take the small-scale farmer. And let's take those you call, for me, I still consider them as farmers because it's their money that is doing it. But you call them entrepreneurial farmers. Let's put this into these three categories and let's look at it. Whether this Farmers' Day celebration has helped to improve their income status or their living standard over the years, let's say for the past 10 years.
Okay, let's
take it one after the other.
The fisher folks too.
Okay, we can ask the fisher folks.
Yeah,
yes,
let's
in fact,
not
important.
forget the
Yes,
the
yes,
fisher folks
very
because
important.
They are also part. Those who are also into the realm of animals and
fishing,
in fact, over
fish
the years,
farming.
Over the years, it has always been a celebration. It's aside the celebration, you don't really see anything aside that, because if there is any improvement and for the years, those when it comes to Farmers' Day celebration, we should use those days to celebrate the success of what we've been able to achieved for the previous years. The previous year where we are elected someone to be the best farmer. I'm telling you today, the Ghana Association, Ghana Agricultural Workers Union, they've just come out just to say that even the plans for food and job has not added anything to. So
that is what
even today they are complaining.
That is what government is touting.
I'm saying even on their day of celebration, they are complaining. So why would you even have to ask me what has been their income? They themselves are complaining. So I wouldn't be the one to just talk to you about when there has been an increase in their income or any other.
So you mean peasant farmers and peasant farmers are not?
It's still the same. It's still the same. And as I still side with Ebenezer. We've still not taken a step yet, and we've still seriously have not even made any conscious effort to improve the welfare and the life of the farmer. I don't even call them poor farmers. The farmer who has all these acres of land, who have they have the strength and any other thing in a village, who can produce or who produce to feed the nation. We've still not made any effort to make sure. Look at this on this day. Where we are celebrating Farmers' Day.
Yes.
Today is when the government or the president will at Tamale is just announced that they are going to put about 24 scholarships. Why don't you do it for people to see? You have to announce it. You do it.
Why is it a fine opportunity for you to present it? Because a lot of farmers are gathered.
It's still promise. It's still promise.
Now let's come back to our issue.
I'm coming back to that. What you will do as a government is you do it. The people sees it. The people feels it. The people talks about it. You don't have to see.
There's evidence for food for.
Yes. You wouldn't even be the one to even talk about it. The people themselves will go out and they will sell it, right? So I'm saying that over the years it has still been that same kind of talking shop. We've not seen any improvement, as to whether the poor the farmer or the peasant farmer is going to their life is going to be.
Think about how the small scale farmer has benefited, or this Farmers' Day has improved the state of the small smoker. We'll be taking a short.
Yes, it's true. But what I said, the only thing, it has always been a celebration.
We'll take a short break, right? But if you don't go away, just continue to send your WhatsApp messages. We'll soon open the phone lines for you to call. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is your one and only Mr. Smooth of the Adults Class fame, and then we are bringing you a very special edition of the Adults Class. This one we are calling the Adults Class Censored. All you're doing is looking for 50 wonderful couples who want to learn, who have the need to learn how to keep their marriage going. Have you wondered why your relationship is not doing that well? Have you wondered why you're not having as many orgasms as a woman? Have you wondered why, as a man, you come so quick? We are going to teach you how a man can prolong ejaculations, how a man can prolong sex without having ejaculations, how a woman can have multiple orgasms, how a man can have multiple orgasms, and even more. It is going to be an exclusive class, and if you want to be a part of the 50 special couple, just pick the contact under and then contact the producer of the show, and then you'll be a part of that class. It's going to be exclusive, it's not going to be on TV, and it's going to be exposing all the hidden secrets to make your marriage a wonderful one. Wherever you are, whatever you do, love making is good. Keep doing it. It is the adults class that teaches you how you can do it well.
Bond. James Bond. Just in time for the fireworks. Got your attention.
Tell me what you know of James Bond.
He'll light the fuse on any explosive situation.
Tell me the diamonds.
Don't blow it all at once. You're suspicious of Graves, or I wouldn't be here right now.
Orphan working in an Argentinian diamond mine. Makes a huge find in Iceland and gives half of it to charity. My friends call me James.
My friends call me James Bond.
Wow. Now there's a mouthful.
Love watching you flail around in your ignorance. It's been fun.
Well, the fun is about to come to a dead end.
You'll need transportation. Aston Martin, call it the Vanquish. We call it the Vanish.
Oh, very good.
The Western spy runs, but he cannot hide.
Well, it seems you've become useful again.
Maybe it's time you let me get on with my job. Oh, this is where they keep the old relics, eh?
So, voila.
No, you're cleverer than you look.
Still better than looking cleverer than you are.
Who said you?
Your mama.
Where you're going, you'll get us both killed. I take it Mr. Bond's been explaining his Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I think I got the thrust of it.
Must you touch everything?
Like to show me more?
Sure. No!
Lockdown the beaches are closing.
Back in time.
Like we're going down together.
Not yet.
Viewers, if you just joined us on the show Competitive Institutions in Ghana, today we are looking at Farmers' Day celebration. And before we went on break, we are looking at how Farmers' Day celebration has contributed to the income status of farmers. And we look at that of peasant farmers, and we have to look at that of small-scale farmers. Ebenezer, what do you think? Has the Farmers' Day celebration over the years helped to improve the income status of small-scale farmers?
Well, even if it has done to a very minimal level. I mean, again, I keep on saying, and I will not change it, that the things that happen to people should not stay in theory. It should be practical. If I want to talk about the income levels of peasant farmers or small-scale farmers, I would want to see improvement in their lives. I would want to see change in standard of living. Standard of living should go higher than it is. This I haven't seen. And that's what I keep on saying, that I'm not limiting it to this current state. But in the last 2 decades, I have worked as a farmer. I've stayed in a farming region many years. So I know what I'm talking about, that I have not seen that improvement. When I go back and visit the farming folk, those that are still doing farming on small scale, their living is still the same. Well, thank God it hasn't gone backwards, but it's the same. It hasn't changed, it hasn't improved.
So at least the status quo is being maintained.
It's being maintained, but it's not being maintained by governments or whoever. It is themselves.
Right.
Yeah, there has been no improvement, and sincerely.
Now let's come back. Let's come back to large scale farmers. What do you like to call entrepreneurs? Has this Farmers Day celebration helped to improve commercial farming, if you like, entrepreneurship in farming?
Yes, I think in a way, yes, because they tend to also compete among themselves to be given the award over the years, and it has also given some farms the kind of recognition needed. By giving them such an award, you end up promoting their farms, and when you end up promoting their when you end up promoting their farms, other people get to know, because as we celebrate them on a particular day, the whole nation is watching TV. Their farms' names are being mentioned, and the other. So it's even boosts their morale to even do more. Because it's a way of what appreciation. So for the large scale farmers, I can say the celebration has always been a good thing. For them. Today, when I was coming, I was listening to the one who was giving the award, and he was saying that when they were mentioning names, nothing even occurred to him that his name will even be mentioned. But later I realized that almost everyone has been called, leaving only him. And about 5 minutes before he was called, he realized this award will be given to him, because realized that almost everyone has.
So he was excited.
Yes,
congratulations to him.
When he was being given the award, it was like a dream. And
now,
with the large scale farmers, it helped them. First of all, it's giving them a platform where their farms' names have been mentioned. People have gotten to know that they have farms, and other things. So people can go to their farms, get farm produce, and the other. So the large scale farmers.
Eben, what is your view?
I think I share in that as well. I mean, for large scale farmers, again, they are the ones that are, that's why I use the word behind closed doors. So virtually they are the ones that are almost always recognized, because it's like you are at that level, like you did mention earlier on, entrepreneur are pushing money. I employ people to do the work on the ground. All that I do is to push my money inside. So these people are recognized from time to time. They come up, they promote their business, people get to know it, and then it goes on. So I think on that level,
let me open the phone line for viewers. Viewers, it's time for you to join us. Join us via 05014328220. Call 05014328220. Ask your questions, make your contributions, and then I believe my guests are in the studio and they will do their best to answer. And then keep your text messages coming as well. We'll be reading them very soon. Now, if you look at statistics from the US and some other developed countries, we have fewer people engaged in agriculture and more people into processing and servicing. Now with this, where do you think government, the Ghana government, should be looking at? You have just alluded to the fact that those who invest into farming, who are not necessarily people who are working on the field, but they are putting their money into farming, they are making a lot of returns. Now, with modernization and mechanization, what do you think we have to do to shift from this peasant farming, small-scale farming, into full-blown commercial farming, where we will now be looking at agro-processing to be adding value to our agricultural product?
I think, so this is varied. There are many ways that government can, but I am happy you did mention that. It tells you that farming has gone to a different level, and we also have to catch up. Have to get to that level. Obviously,
you can add fishing as well, because there's an aspect for fishing.
Whilst we speak about it, we are talking about fishing as well. So clearly, it tells you that there's, first of all, I think that there should still be education. People must be educated. I heard one woman, I think Dr. even did mention it. I've forgotten about the name. Over the week when she was speaking at, I think, Legon or somewhere, and she was trying to tell the people or the students that those who go into agriculture are not those who are school dropouts. Or, the fact that you have gone to that level doesn't mean you cannot go into farming or agriculture. So, education is crucial. Education as in people studying agriculture as a course. And education as in we educating even the farmers who are not educated. So, this is how cocoa is done. Cocoa season is this period. Within this period and that period, you are supposed to put fertilizer on it. You are supposed to do this. This will yield that. I believe planting time and harvesting time are good.
The extension officers continue to do this.
Yes, but the planting and harvesting are not as crucial as the period between the two. The period between the two is when photosynthesis takes place. This is where you have to water.
You want to go
this is where the sun will come. This is where you have to Try to, if there are weeds, you clear them. I mean, all the things you have to put together so that you have a good harvest will come in. So if these people are not educated to that level, they wouldn't be. Again, secondly, there should be investment, massive investment.
From where? Is it from the private sector or from government?
Both sides. PPP.
Yeah.
Private partnership with public, I mean with government. It should come from both sides. But the point is that this investment, we should feel it, we should see it, we should experience it. The farmers should come out clearly and tell us in the next Farmers Day celebration that look, government invested and this time we feel it. We can. I'm telling you that if these guys are really feeling it, nobody will come and say otherwise. I can tell you for a fact that if farmers are really feeling the effect of investment by government, none of them will come out and tell, no, come on, for what reason?
Now,
it is because they are not feeling, that's why they keep on complaining.
Dr. Adams, from history and from the way people are now investing into agriculture, what do you think should be the focus? Commercial agriculture or peasant farming or small scale farming? Where should government support? Because look, a lot of the people who are into peasant farming and small scale farming are the people who governments, not only this government, but government in the past, who appeal to win their support to continue to govern. Then we have farmers who are also investors. Now, what do you think the focus should be?
Okay, so I'll start my submission with a question. Yeah. Is there a Kumfi?
I hope you are not putting the question to me.
No. Yes, I just want to find out. Is there a Kumfi pineapple processing factory working?
Yes.
I like that. Because it looks like that's where one district, one factory started. They went to lunches there with the pineapple processing, and
you are preempting my next question because I'm looking at adding value to agriculture to expand the value chain.
Yes,
that should be the next question.
So if that is not working, then you can also the kind of talking shop. As even said that, in fact, we've not even started the journey, not even a step. You see, the whole issue is this government. The government has a lot of good policies. One district, one factory. It's a good thing. I'm telling you, it's a good thing. But you see, we have some of these communities, these rural areas, where even farmers to transport their produce from those rural areas to an urban center, that's a problem. Why don't you look into the factory there for the factory to use the produce of those farmers?
Do you think they can produce in optimum volume to feed the factory because the factory is
so urban added? Now
let's come back.
There's supposed to be education.
Hold on, viewers, you can be part of the show. Just send your WhatsApp messages.
I will say that.
Just hold on. Send your WhatsApp messages. You can call 05014328820. Now, what could be done differently to match farming to agro-processing to expand the agricultural value chain to the extent that we can create wealth not only for the farmer on the field but those who are going to invest into the value chain? Because if you really want to we still maintain that agriculture is the backbone of the economy, then it's not just enough to produce to feed ourselves, like we saying planting for food and job. What about adding value to it, rearing for what? For food and job. So what could be done to the extent that we are going to mobilize investors into farming, where farm input, agricultural product to be produced in large quantities, to be able to feed into these factories where you were talking about this 1D1F. What do you suggest for government to align so that this 1D1F can become a reality?
Yes, the government should implement their policies.
What are the policies? Because they need to be shared. Because
policies,
if it's PPP, then we need to.
The policies are
one
there.
at a time.
The policies are there.
Yes.
The implementation is there.
Can you share one with us? Because some investors are listening.
I started with the question: is the Kumfi pineapple processing factory working?
They are not able to produce enough pineapple to feed the plant.
The sugarcane factory is the
Commander.
Is the factory working now?
They don't have enough sugarcane to feed the farm.
Know that you can't produce sugar cane through the entire year because sugar cane you can't harvest it during rainy season. It's only during dry season that you can harvest sugar cane, and during rainy season, even when you harvest them, the content of sugar in the sugar cane is small, so there is no way you can. So they knew all these things. So during those times, so you can't harvest sugar cane, that's when you use it to service your machinery. Is that not it?
So, but the machine has been operated for long.
Well, they don't even have any intention of just even getting sugarcane, because these governments have been in government for quite more than 2 years. Have they even planted any sugarcane in any place?
So, with these examples you are giving, Kumfi, what?
The commander.
Commander Sugar Factory, Kofi, Pineapple, what?
Yes.
Now, do you think that this 1 DF that you think this laudable is workable? Looking at what happens, because look, take Polygood Tomato Factory, for example, that one to do work. Hello? I think there's a caller. Hello? Hello? All right, I think the caller dropped. Now, do you think that with the examples you are giving about a Kumfi, commander.
Hello?
Hello? Your name is where you are calling from?
My name is Courage.
Your name is what? Your name is what?
Courage.
Okay, Courage. Where are you calling from? And we are listening to you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Botiano. That's all.
Okay. We are listening.
Courage,
we are listening.
Yeah, you know, it's a very good program that you people are doing. Yes, but you see, Ghanaians as a whole, we have a problem. There was one instance in the whereby this company that was cassava for this root extra and here. So you know, our farmers in the area stand against the foreigners that know they want to produce their own cassava and process it. This Dutch school come or these people from Netherlands, they pack out so that our local people can produce the thing as they are saying, because they can be supplying Accra breweries directly. So my brother, as the people went, ask me if we were able to produce a kilo of cassava paste or cassava dough to supply the company.
So what is your suggestion?
I think even the government, that's why they are taking us for granted, because ourselves, our attitude towards the work is not encouraging.
What do you mean by our attitude? Do you mean the farmers or the government or who? We want solution.
Both the citizens and the government. Both the citizens and the government. Because even the government has decided to invest money into that sector. If the government wants to invest into that sector, are we ever ready?
But there was a Yesu sugar factory. There was a Yesu starch factory. There was a Yesu starch factory.
There was.
A Yesu starch factory. I stand to be corrected.
The question is, how many tons are they producing? I've just said that I'm into machine. I produce machine. I produce machine for fruit juice and other agro processing. Other processes.
Yes.
But the question is, how many tons of cassava can they produce, or have they been supplied to Accra brewery?
Courage, what is your recommendation, your suggestion?
My problem now is our people. We should be more innovative. You see, the people need more training. So if you are going to invest money into such a big project and it's not using it.
Courage, thank you very much. Your point is well made. Thank you. Now let's come back. We are looking at how to expand the value chain so that we don't just limit ourselves to production of raw materials, agricultural raw materials, but adding value to expand the opportunity to create employment and to create wealth. Because if you look at advanced countries, we have fewer people into farming and there are more people into value addition, and that is how they are creating the world. What is your suggestion to government looking at Farmers' Day and what we can do to improve? Because from your own submission, you are saying that nothing has changed, the value is the same. What do you suggest? You are the leaders.
What I would say is government should rather look at each district and the major cash crop that they produce, and cite a factory that process their crops. So if you pick this one district and you realize that the indigents or the farmers produce much more of tomatoes, you can cite a tomato processing factory there, And you know, we should do it the same for almost, and if it could not even be maybe one district for one factory, if not even one district for one factory, we can put 5 districts together and give them one factory.
Yes.
You know, for a start. Then whilst they expand, then we'll begin to push these factories to other places. But the challenge is, you know, government will put up the factory, and you know, will put people to work, and this factory would work or underperform, and now we'll have to use taxpayers' money to go and pay the worker who is sitting at the factory, who is supposed to make money. It's not really making money, but we are using taxpayers' money to pay them. That's what becomes at times a challenge. But rather, you know, side the factory. But whilst you employ those people, let them know that their salaries are going to be based on performance. If you don't perform, you know,
you have to wrap up. You have to wrap up.
Yes. So that is that.
Ebenezer, your final comment.
My final comment. I mean, I just want to generally add that. Look, let me say it in a question form. Why is it that the road that links, let's say, other places to Tema, where Tema Oil Refinery is, why is it untarred? Why is the road in front of the Golden Jubilee Terminal at Gapoa, I mean, between Bond and then, why isn't these are places that we get the money from, and yet these are the most neglected of all.
We are talking about
Farmers Day. I am pushing it into Farmers Day. Why do we have issues with roads linking to places we get the produce? Why I mean, why I just ask myself, why the roads, all roads leading to farming areas where we get the produce, should be constructed first class roads. This is where we get the money. They feed the nation. Yes, of course. But the government gets a lot of money, and the monies are put into other ventures. Let me put in quotes. So let them do that, so that farming will become attractive to the youth.
Viewers, all too soon. Our time is exhausted. This show is brought to you in collaboration with Strathistank and GNTV. We want to apologize for our inability to run the training program we promised. We are going to reschedule it and announce the date later. So thank you very much for being part of the show. See you at the same time next week. Bye-bye.